It's like turning up to a stop sign and then thinking, wow, this is a hurdle, I'm getting out my car and I'm walking home and never going to drive again. Sounds pretty daft, doesn't it? And that is how crazy the mind works when we feel rejected. You made it back to the channel. My name is Anna, and today's video is something that I feel on a personal level, and I'm glad to share it with you. And that is how to overcome your fear of rejection and how this is actually holding you back in relationships, because rejection hurts. Now, rejection is actually felt by your boss, it's felt by the person you're envious of, it's felt by every single person on the planet, and it's something that you just do not want to happen. It's a universal feeling that connects all of us human beings together, and it doesn't really matter if the rejection is caused by a job, from your friends, from your family, or even the dating scene. It's all very painful to experience. It's so painful, in fact, that many people do anything they can to avoid that feeling. They won't go for a new job for the fear of rejection. They won't talk to people that they could potentially date for the fear of rejection. They truly are missing out, and I want to help you get over it. You cannot avoid rejection. Let's be real for a second. It doesn't matter how much of your life you try to wrap up in cotton wool, you're still gonna feel rejected at some point. There's nothing you can do for it as well. You just have to accept that it can happen. You may be able to control your life as much as you think you can to avoid rejection, but life doesn't really work that way. You might have not been asked out to a co-worker's birthday party. You find out you didn't get the job even though you were so positive that you would. It happens. Your feelings are valid. Now, just because I'm telling you that everyone feels rejection doesn't mean it's going to lessen the blow when you do feel those horrible feelings. It just means that, you know what? This is part of the human experience. We were born to feel emotions. Unless you are a psychopath, and that's another video. But part of the human experience is to understand what rejection actually means. And when you can understand it, you can fully validate it, and then you can let go and learn from it. Now, think about specifically in the dating scene. The rejection hurts so much because maybe it's brought to the surface that limiting belief that you have about yourself. Maybe you feel that you would never be worthy enough to date a lady because you got rejected, and that's proof you weren't good enough. Now, you need to understand that the feeling of rejection is perfectly normal, and it's okay to feel sad. And you know what? It's okay to take a couple of days or weeks to actually process that feeling in order for you to fully overcome it. Now, just because your friends might not be as highly sensitive to this emotion as you, doesn't mean that it takes away the pain and cheats you out of overcoming it. You take as long as you need to get over it. Identify how rejection can actually make you grow. Now, one of the best phrases that I have read online, and I'm not really quite sure who actually originally said it. Anytime you're involved in a painful situation, don't think, why did this happen to me? Why can't life just give me a break? Instead, you need to think, how can I learn from this situation? How can this painful situation right now make me grow into a better person? Now, this mindset allows you to almost belittle the rejection feeling, and it makes you work on yourself. Perhaps you were rejected by a girl because you came across as very self-involved and arrogant. You didn't give her any consideration in the conversation because you didn't listen. But you wouldn't realize in the moment what happened until you actually were rejected, had some time aside to think, you know what? Now I know what I did wrong, and you will understand what you need to do next time to have a successful outcome. Sometimes it's the moments in life which really holds us back from feeling happiness, where we actually think, maybe I didn't want to do that thing anyway. This is a good thing this happened. I'm growing. I'm adulting. Yay! You are still worthy even if you are rejected. Now, a lot of people may not give you the full reason of why they rejected you. That's just how life is. They could ghost you, they could block you, and maybe they actually lie about the reason they don't want to be with you. Now, if you hold a negative doubt, judgment about yourself, you're going to believe anything that person will tell you for that reason of rejection. However, if you are a strong-willed person, you are very confident about yourself, and you know that that you are amazing. You can actually say, you know what, I've been rejected, but I'm still worthy and I still deserve greatness. That is a great relationship skill to have, just being in the present moment. Now, it's very easy to take rejection personally, but sometimes you don't really know the other person's reason for the rejection. And sadly, you may not ever find out, so you may as well come up with a good strategy to deal with it in the moment. Don't let it set you back. The first couple of times that you feel rejection in the dating world is going to really suck. You can ask any successful dating coach about how many times they have heard people say to them, "Coach, I was rejected, and now you know what, I just don't even put myself back out there. I've deleted my dating apps and I don't care." Now, a dating coach would say, you know what, I hear this all the time, but you can't just stop yourself reaching out to date people because of one minor setback. Like, we get it, you got rejected. It's activated that negative self-talk which you had held inside of you since you were a child. But that shouldn't stop you from continuously going out there to date. Because imagine if you had the mindset when it came to your career. If you stopped searching from a job from the very first time you were rejected from a job interview, you wouldn't have a job today. So having the mindset of stopping at the first hurdle is a very dangerous mindset to have. Basically, get over that hurdle. There's gonna be a couple more, but it's gonna get easier the more times you feel the rejection. It's like turning up to a stop sign and then thinking, wow, this is a hurdle, I'm getting out my car and I'm walking home and never gonna drive again. Sounds pretty daft, doesn't it? And that is how crazy the mind works when we feel rejected. So refuse to listen to the crazy and don't let rejection be a setback. Learn to take the punches, take the risks, and continue to be the person that you are right now, finding that relationship that you know is going to be worthwhile. Expect, okay, and I mean it, expect to be greeted with the door of rejection from time to time, but take the mindset that every time you get rejected, it means you're getting closer and closer to that one best option out there. And it is out there, but you're not going to achieve that amazing relationship until you are vigorous with the rejection handling. Remember, rejection is not going to break you. It's not going to stop you from doing the amazing things that you want to do in your life. The one thing that is going to stop you, though, doing what you want is actually your own beliefs of rejection being very, very important. When really, rejection is just an emotional response to an external factor that you had no control over, but you do have control over how you actually feel about that situation. Now, I get it. You got rejected. You've got to learn to shrug it off and think, you know what? I'm still awesome. Who knows? They could be going through a situation that is nothing to do with the relationship. I may as well just pick up and continue where I left off. And there we go. We've reached the end of the video. If you want to binge some more, click right here. Or if you want to get your name up on our super fan board, then all you have to do is be a member of our Joyanima monthly membership. Details will be down below. Like and subscribe. See you soon.